Well, hi everybody. This is Steve, D9 Games. I want to come up with another one. This one is topic multiple degrees of success and failure. Now, I know this can be a hard one to run at the table as a game master, but it's been on my heart for a while, and I feel like it has some merit, some validity. Maybe for a more experienced game master, for sure, but even a beginning game master should be able to carrot this into their game as far as a mechanic. So, like I mentioned, it's been on my heart for a while, and what sparked this was several years ago. One of our players, Richard, rolled a double nine, which is an enlightenment in our enlightened system, and he was a little bit disappointed that nothing came with the enlightenment because, of course, when you double nine, you make a note of what your action was, and then in a future off season, you can turn that into a bona fide talent or skill. So what we've decided to do, and again, this was several years ago, but it's starting to come to fruition, and I think I have a plan. So let's say you succeed your roll by a certain number. Now, at low level, it might be something like 5, something easy to remember. If you succeed by 5, you get a little extra with your success. Not only did you succeed, but you were able to blah, 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 whatever. You could also, at higher levels, do it by 10. So if you succeed by 10 or more, this happens. Maybe at lower levels, you got to use 5 or more. But the basic theory is there's 6 levels of success or failure. So number 1 is you could succeed by a given number, and I'm writing down 10 just for an example. You can double 9, which is an enlightenment. It's an even higher level of success, if you will. You could fail by 10, which would be a failure with consequence. You could double 0, which would be a catastrophe in our game, which is the highest level of failure. And then you can succeed by a little bit. So if you're using 10 as your success or fail by number, if you succeed by matching, which is on the number through 9, that's just a success, normal success. If you fail by 1 through 9, that's a normal failure. But if you succeed by 10, fail by 10, you get that added caveat. So why do I even bring this up? Well, I think it's important for one of the missions of our game, Enlightened. And this is more of a general TTRPG topic. It's not necessarily for Enlightened, but I always use that as an example because I love playing it. To exercise your creative muscles as a GM. That's why it's important to do something like this. So you're adding some complexity, you're adding some flavor, some spice, but not to take away from the flow of the game. So yeah, somebody might say it gets crunchy when you start to do that. And then I know you're going to be encouraged to make a table of what you could roll on a table if you fail by 10 or succeed by 10, but I encourage you not to do that. Don't use a table. Just let your gut lead the way. So my archer shoots an arrow at this dragon. He succeeds by 10. Not only did you hit the dragon, but you pierce it in a location that draws its full attention toward you and gives a degree of ease to both your ally, Fomorian, here as they attack the dragon, maybe keeping it from flying away. So see how you just have to get those creative muscles working out so that you can make this easier for you. A lot of games do just pass fail, and yeah, there's an occasional crit. That's great, so you get like double damage or something, or how did you do it, or whatever the case may be. But a simple black and white pass fail is good for beginning, and it's good for some games, and it actually is probably good for flow of gameplay. But at some point, it's adds complexity and some spice to your game as long as you can do it without breaking the flow. So that is why I believe it's important to do something like this, because we're trying to encourage creativity and stepping outside of the box and using your gut. And when, again, I might sound like a broken record, but when you're playing the Enlightened system and it's a little bit of a flow, there's more chores and duties put on the players, so where the game master can just flex their creative muscles all night long, and so it works for us for sure. Again, avoid tables, trust your gut, And another reason why is it involves the player's interaction as they join in on the creativity. So let's say the priest is going to bless the party. Maybe he's going to bless the two in the front, and he succeeds by 10. You know what? The whole party's blessed. You just call it on the fly. Stay out of the books, stay out of the crunchy, and I'll get to that in a minute. Remind me about crunchy. But yeah, it involves the players more in the creativity. You might even throw it at them. So this rogue's trying to sneak around behind all these combatants to maybe climb up on the dragon and stab it in the head. Whatever. He succeeds by 10, you give it to him, or you ask him, just give me a little more detail about your success right there. And the rogue says, well, not only was I able to sneak past everybody unnoticed, I was able to climb up, and I'm on the dragon's head, and I do a critical, blow to his eye or to his neck or something. Whatever the case may be, but it's cool to get the players involved where they feel like they have some say, not just, okay, you succeed, how much damage did you do? 10, next. I succeeded by 10, cool. Does that mean I can possibly stun the creature, or I'm able to hit in melee and then disengage? Absolutely. Give it to them. You succeed by the magic number you're using, give it to them. Player involvement is everything once you learn the secrets of good game mastery. So again, at low levels, you might use your target number as 5, because think about it in the Enlightened system, if you've got like a 7 physical score of 7, your target's going to be 11. So when you roll an 18, that's only succeeding by 7. You really can't get to the 10 unless you get to higher levels. So maybe the first half of your campaign, 0 to 5, level 0 to 5, you're running a 5 as a magic number. And then once you get to level 6 through 10, you can amp it up to 10 being your magic number. Whatever. You could pick any number you want, 7, 8, 6. But, 5s and 10s are easy to remember. And easy for your players to remember too. Inherently, this is adding variety and uncertainty to the game. So in our game, Enlighten, you can add a degree of ease if you don't move in some cases, or if you get some help from an ally, or if you're inspired by the bard, or there's a lot of different ways. So this is going to encourage people to want to throw more dice so they have a better chance to succeed by the bigger number. So those are a couple things. This is a short video. I just want to throw that out because, again, this has been on my heart for a while. And thanks for reminding me about Crunchy. We played Pathfinder last night in Tustin with some of the same guys we game with on Tuesday for our Enlightened system, but then there's some new faces out there. My buddy Kale's doing an awesome job as a GM, and he wrangled an intense battle last night. A lot of combatants. He had like 7 players around the table, and I say he's a fairly new GM. I'm not sure, but I think he is, but he did a great job. Now, it was very crunchy, and there was books open, and what's this spell do, and what's that do, and how exactly does this work, and there was just mechanic crunch like crazy, which turned an hour and 20-minute battle into about a 3.5 or 4-hour battle, and that could just be the fact that that system really relies on the details of the rules, and they don't have as many guidelines. So again, that might be the ending salvo of this video today is guidelines, yes. Rules, no. Gotta have some rules, sure. But let's just have fun, keep the creativity flowing. You've got your guidelines, you still have your rules that are important. But multiple degrees of success and failure, I give it a thumbs up, give it a try. Good luck, and until next time, peace.